This is Marshall Abrahams with the asp and the British Cross, number 25. Some more quick thoughts this time about the pattern the electrical connection makes in the brain, specifically the limbic system, which correlates to the eye of Horus. The two important glands are the pituitary and the pineal. The pituitary is reddish and imparts a milk-white colour and magnetic charge to the oil it receives from the claustrum. These colours are the source of the southeast red and silver quarter of worldly governance. Think of the coat of arms of the City of London. The pineal is dark and imparts a honey-coloured electrical charge to its share of the oil. These glands are the capstones of the twin pillars, the red and silver one, pituitary or strength, with its connections up to the mortal plane from the creative underworld or south, and the black and gold one, the pineal or establish, with its connections from the organising overworld or north down to our everyday plane. The head is always north and always black. Here the four legs of the British Cross, derived from Sumerian understanding, meet in the blue centre. Blue is connected to disinterested, impartial love, while red is carnal, as we know. It might sound far-fetched, but blue lexigrams as lube or love, L-U-V-E, to use Robert Burns' spelling. And it is the love which lubricates all human dealings, or should. It's why azure is so important. The pituitary is the negative terminal, the pineal the positive, and together with the thalamus, or the chamber, they make up the eye of Horus. Protected by the overarching halves of the upper brain, the spark of life itself gathers up the creative raw material from the well that is the pituitary, draws down the organisational know-how from the upper spheres and creates, well, anything it likes really. It is possible that cerebrum is the same as cherubim or cherubim. Cerebrum is thought to be from cer, meaning horn or head, while cherubim means mighty. The Welsh word crif is strong or mighty, while the Akkadian caribou means to be mighty. However, the Ark of the Covenant, a representation of the limbic system on the mortal plane with its frightful power, has seraphim at each end, extending their protective feathery wings over the Ark, just as the upper twin halves of the brain do over the limbic system. Seraph and cherub are so close that they are possibly derived from the same root word. Seraph is from the Welsh sarf, meaning serpent, with the interesting and relevant Hebrew connotation of both vipers, a viper is another word for an asp, and burning. But a cherub is a fearsome thing with four heads, one a bull's, one an eagle's, one human, and one a lion's. It is well known that these refer to the four fixed points of the compass and represent Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. These are the 2nd, 5th, 8th, and 11th in the zodiac, and 2, 5, and 8 are Fibonacci numbers. The cherubim stand to the east of Eden, guarding the way to the tree of life, in which the Fibonacci series is ever present, and 11 is the twin pillars, the two glands in the limbic system. They are symbolical of man and woman, the Christed man and his bride, which the new age of Aquarius is just about to reveal. So Taurus, the earth power, is directed by Orion, Leo, through his mace or wand, while the enlightened psychical knowledge of Scorpio, the eagle, brings down the know-how from the heights, and the two powers are connected by the two glands in the limbic system of man. The word man is from the same root as mind, and in this sort of context is asexual. It's worth noting that according to Richard Hinckley Allen, the zodiacal sign of Aquarius was the most revered by the Druids who associated it with alchemy. It is at least 14,000 years old, says Allen. Aquarius is the water pourer, not the water carrier, and the water he pours is the water of life. This spark of life, which jumps the gap between the two terminals, can be split up as SP and arc, and even in everyday electrical matters, the gap between the terminals is called the arc. SP is the asp, of no known origin, except that it is another word for the Egyptian cobra or the viper connected to the Hebrew seraphim. As to the etymology of the Greek word aspis, said to be the source of the word asp, says a fellow called Beeks, no remotely convincing suggestions have been made, except that asp is exactly the same word in both English and Welsh. This shape it's not quite like a Z because the angles are obtuse rather than acute. It is repeated in this dogleg of Watling Street, and wouldn't I just love to know why this area was chosen? Given the network of energy lines beneath Earth's surface, it probably chose itself. The gap between the two terminals is where the checkerboard of black and white, joined and joint power comes from. Anybody who professes to have dominion over this checkerboard had better be very sure of the purity of his or her motives. The word check and exchequer are both to do with money and the source of money, and money is the mundane expression of this vital energy. Incidentally, mint is a doublet of money, and money in Welsh is the old word munai, M-U-N. I'm sorry, I really must learn this language. I keep saying that. It's so difficult and so beautiful. M-U-N, mun, being ore, mineral or metal. Therefore, money is also a doublet of mineral and mine. If ever there was a reason to go back on a gold and silver standard, that is certainly one. Another is that greedy and unenlightened bankers would be unable to tamper with a country's economy. And a third is that electrum, a naturally occurring source of gold and silver combined, which was used to make the very earliest coins, also means amber, and amber, when rubbed, gives off an electrical charge. Most people will have heard of the uraeus, that part of a pharaoh's headdress which covers the forehead and shows a striking cobra. Black and gold, the colours of the pineal gland, are the colours of the magical quarter of this British cross, and this the Sumerians and Egyptians knew very well. So do some evil people today, but their dark reign is at an end, and soon this knowledge will be available to all of us, each on a level that is comfortable. Cleopatra's death from the bite of an asp comes to mind, and while she might well have committed suicide in just such a manner, there is also definitely an allegory at work here. I found that down the arches, or the arcs of the years, that life has a habit of repeating itself on several levels. There we are. This is probably 3 times as long as I'd intended it to be, but every time I wrote something down, something else occurred to me, so I had to put that down as well. Thank you for sticking with me, and I'll see you all the next time. Goodbye.